Here we go. Hot Rods, blazing topics. It's your boy Hot Rod here, back with another one. Here with another episode. Another week, y'all. Another week, another opportunity, fresh mindset, fresh week, fresh goals, new opportunities. Guys, before I start, I definitely always want to say please like, share, and subscribe. It's the only way I'm going to get this video and this channel up. So definitely share the content. You know, it's something when I have to unfortunately always say, but it is what it is. Let's keep the channel growing. Let's put the video and content out there, guys. So today I'm going to start off by talking about self-inflicted wounds, right? Self-inflicted wounds this week has been the topic that I've been dwelling on over this weekend. There's a lot of things you see going on in society today, right? We're living in a crazy world where it's like hurt versus hurt, right? Men versus women attacking each other, right? Cyberbullying, all this other stuff, just to get a point across and state our opinions. And a lot of times it's not even facts. It's just people stating opinions. It's not even true. It's just based off their own personal experience. And that's cool because it's great. That's how we learn from one another, right? It's through experiences. But when you look at about, like, for example, right, I looked at Keke Palmer's situation with her baby father. Now, I'm not going to dwell too much on that, right, because I'm going to leave that for the topic maybe later on this week. But I bring it up because it was so crazy to see the different responses and reactions that came from that. And when I was seeing, I like to peek at the comments, you know, sometimes to see what people are saying. It's just thought-provoking sometimes. And sometimes I try my hardest not to engage, maybe hard to not fall for the banters of the things people say. But, like, it's to me, sometimes I take even the negatives into a positive, right? And I apply it to my own personal life experiences. And I always wonder when I see people's situations, what can I have done better, right? What could I have done better? What could I do better if I was in that situation, right? If I was going through that problem with someone, especially my own partner, what can I have done to avoid that? What are some things that need to be worked on between us? So that's why I brought up Keke Palmer, because a lot of times you see in today, it's like I said, it's hurt versus hurt, right? It seems like a lot of pain. And when I'm gathering my thoughts and seeing the experiences of what other people's expressing about what they got going on in their lives with their own relationships, right? And it doesn't gotta be even with like you and your significant other. It could be in family, friends, whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna say in relationships in particular, because you realize a lot of times people are going into relationships with trauma. People are going into relationships with some hard trauma, right? And that's why I said today's self-inflicting wound. It's just a lot of the times we're continuing to hurt ourselves, and we're going into relationships with damaged goods, right? We're going in relationships with a hurt, right? A broken heart, right? Things that we haven't even fixed within ourselves that we still trying to heal from. We haven't even begun to heal, but we were so quick to move on because, right, we just can't stand the sight of being alone. We see, like we said, we see what others have online, and we're living in a social media world where everything is so fake. You got Facebook and Instagram and all these other apps that are showing. I always say Instagram is like the fantasy fake world, and Facebook is just one of those like depressing sites where constantly you just hear people bashing each other and hurting one another. And there was a point I had to isolate myself because I was starting to hate my own kind. I was starting to hate my own women, black women that I love, that are so beautiful. But when you're seeing the constant teardowns on both sides, it's not just women, on both sides, it can be very, very sad and depressing. And a lot of times now you're going to a relationship, right, with all these thoughts in your head about what society is putting out and what people in society is labeling in their own experiences, what should be right and wrong. No, I feel people need to take the time themselves to literally figure out, why am I going into this next relationship with the same mindset, right? Why am I going into the next relationship with self-inflicting wounds? Why is it that my relationships do not last long? Why is it that my relationships only last 3 months, 6 months to a year, and then I'm on to the next one, right? Why is it I'm carrying these same issues over and over, the same traumas over and over, the same past hurt feelings over and over into the next relationship? And then I'm realizing it's a trend that's just keep on going and going and going. And a lot of times because People haven't took the time to fix their own problems. Those self-inflicted wounds that they allow to keep coming up, right? That past trauma that seems to constantly haunt us over and over and over. Then we're wondering, why is it so hard to get into a relationship? Now we're living in a society today where if you do your own facts and research, I won't go into all the numbers like that, but if you do your own facts and research, literally the relationship rate is declining. And I mean marriage. Marriage is not excelling like it used to. People are afraid to get in relationships or afraid to even get married, or even now afraid to get married, to have kids, because we feel as though there's some sort of scheming and scamming going on, right? Hurt versus hurt. You hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you worse. And it's a sad state, and that's why as a culture you realize we're not getting anywhere. People need to really take the time, figure out what's wrong with me, right? What do I need to change? How I need to grow as a person, right? What is a practice or a mechanism that I can use, to help me get to situations that constantly get me in a funk all the time with this person? Like, if I know that I'm going into an argument with someone and it's the same pattern, it's not me listening and just me listening to response, why does that constantly happen? Why do I have to talk over this person all the time? Why is it a hard time for me to grasp what they're trying to tell me and listen to fix the problem, not just listen to respond? And a lot of the times it takes you having to take the time to really figure out, what do I need to do to heal myself? I know for me personally, I always share all the time, yoga was my journey. Yoga was my journey to understand the betterment of myself, right? To figure out the problems that existed within me. I knew that although I can easily, and all of us can easily just say, yeah, this person was the problem in our last previous relationship. But when we're going to be real with ourselves and say, you know what, maybe if there's a constant trend going on in every single relationship, right, the same issues are reoccurring all the time, I have to look at myself in the mirror and say, well, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to fix? And there's different forms of ways you can go through that, right? Go through the motions. For me, like I said, it was yoga, right? Learning about myself, learning how to channel that emotion, right? How to handle that emotion when I know that emotion is about to come over me and it's going to become overwhelming. I'm going to spaz out on this person. How do I then control that feeling and emotion so that I'm not able to then not just lose myself, but lose my partner in the long term because of the same issues that's constantly haunting me over and over and over, no matter what relationship I get in and get out of, right? It could be you going to therapy. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad we live in a society today where we're seeing has a culture, because we always knew it was always frowned upon in our culture, especially the Black community, when we knew that therapy is something that we would laugh at each other. Ha ha ha, ain't nothing wrong with you, just pray about it, right? We knew parents that always say, just pray about it, boy, ain't nothing wrong with you. What you need therapy for? And I'm telling you, I have a problem, but yet you're telling me what's the problem. When I'm explaining to you, I have a problem. But then you'll just tell me constantly, just pray. That's just wild to me. But that's neither here or there. But like I said, like, go do something. Figure out, what do I need to do to help myself become a better version of me, right? So I can become a better version of me, so I can be a better version for my partner. You don't have to wait your relationship to figure these things out. Take the time now, because that's the problem. I think a lot of times we're having these self-inflicted wounds because we're not taking the time before we go into a relationship with someone to fix these problems. Take the time now. You know what? If I've been in the past 3 relationships and I'm realizing the same trend, 6 months and it's done, let me not get into the next one. Let me actually take 6 months to heal. Figure out what is wrong, fix the problem, and then I'll give myself a better chance. So that's why in the beginning I use Keke Palmer as a situation, because I see a lot of times people are here. Also, I'm not gonna get too deep into it because I would love to break that down later on this week. But I'm seeing a lot of the blowback that people was bashing the man for expressing how he felt about what his baby mom / girlfriend was doing. Although the whole thing is that if you're not married, then you don't really claim it, which is wild to me. But I'm gonna leave that for later on this week because I'll give you a little too much of that, right? But in the end of the day, it's like, it was too much bashing back and forth, but there was no true logic behind people's, meaning. And when they were breaking down why they felt Keke was wrong or why they felt the guy was wrong, and the guy got really bashed because he went about it, although I understand because Usher was grouping your girl and he looked like he did some, I'm not gonna get too deep, but like I said, it looked like he went a little bit too far. I'll say that. But at the end of the day, that's what I said. That's where it comes from. Us figuring out what's the problem within us. Are we not expressing enough to our spouse or our partner our wants and needs? The communication style, number one thing is communication, right? Not waiting with something blows up to then express how you feel. Fix that problem internally. See, like, you know what? I know in my past relationship, I had communication issues, right? That existed that I never fixed at all. I just continue to let it go on and go on. And now I wait till something bad happens and then explode, right? And when I self-implode, then I explode. And next thing you know, I'll draw a big scene about it. And now I embarrass myself and my partner for something that could have been handled in-house, in private. But a lot of the times we're not fixing these problems. Like I said, we're going on to the next relationship, and now we're causing hurt to ourselves and our partner. So that's why I said self-inflicting today, guys. Please take the time and reflect that. Reflect self-inflicting. What are the challenges that I need to face head on that are constantly haunting me over and over and over again? Guys, Hot Rod Blazing Topics. I hope you have a blessed week. Until next time, I'm out.